This is my favorite passage from Orlando by Virginia Woolf. This book is kind of a surreal multiverse exploration of how vast we have to be inside in order to assimilate all the really different experiences that we have in our lifetimes, and how we have to somehow reconcile everything that we've been through and felt and all the changes we've made into a single intelligible self so that we can function and relate. Virginia Woolf has a really playful touch with this topic, and the title character's own internal vastness is externalized as multiple lifetimes over hundreds of years and different genders and all this kind of stuff. And in this particular passage, Orlando interacts with this multitude in a really cool way. Orlando heaved a sigh of relief, lit a cigarette, and puffed for a minute or two in silence. Then she called hesitatingly, as if the person she wanted might not be there. Orlando? For if there are, at a venture, 76 different times, all ticking in the mind at once, how many different people are there not, heaven help us, all having lodgment at one time or another in the human spirit? Some say 2052. So that it is the most usual thing in the world for a person to say, directly they are alone, Orlando, if that is their name, meaning by that, come, I am sick to death of this particular self, I want another. Hence the astonishing changes we see in our friends. But it is not altogether plain sailing either, for though one may say, as Orlando said, being out in the country and needing another self presumably, Orlando, still the Orlando she needs may not come. These selves of which we are built up, one on top of another, as plates are piled on a waiter's hand, have attachments elsewhere, sympathies, little constitutions and rights of their own, call them what you will, and for many of these things there is no name, so that one will only come if it is raining, another in a room with green curtains, another when Mrs. Jones is not there, another if you can promise it a glass of wine, and so on. For everybody can multiply from his own experience the different terms which his different selves have made with him, and some are too wildly ridiculous to be mentioned in print at all. So Orlando, at the turn by the barn, called Orlando, with a note of interrogation in her voice. Orlando did not come.